From SF Land, this is Dorking Out, a podcast for people who love to dork out about movies, TV, and everything pop culture.
Welcome to Dorking Out. My name is Sonia Mansfield, and I know you can be overwhelmed and you can be underwhelmed, but can you ever just be whelmed? Joining me is my podcasting sister from another mister and the co-host of Dorking Out, Margo D. Hello, my friend.
Hey, my friend, I'm just looking for my Letters to Cleo t-shirt. I wonder where it is.
Did you find it?
No, it's got to be here someplace, but somewhere in the 90s I left it.
That shit is a collector's item.
Yes, it is.
This week we are dorking out about 1999's 10 Things I Hate About You. It stars Julia Stiles, Heath Ledger, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Larry Miller, David Krumholtz. Did I pronounce that right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Gabrielle Union. She's so cute. She was in She's All That, which we already did an episode on. And Allison Janney and Daryl Miller. We love Daryl Miller. Daryl Mitchell. Sorry. Oh my gosh. I mixed up Larry Miller and Daryl Mitchell. My mind is all over the place. I am so sorry, you guys. But he's really, really great. And he was in Ed, right?
He was in Ed and he was in Galaxy Quest.
Yes. And he was also in House Party, which I super love. And someday we
need to do that one day. Yes.
I love the first House Party. Love it.
Yo, Eraserhead.
I'm going to watch House Party after this. Sorry, 10 Things I Hate About You, but now I want to talk about House Party. This movie is one of the many modern adaptations of older stories. So we had Clueless, which was Emma. We had, what was the other one? She's All That was an adaptation of an old Shakespeare one. And now we have this one, which is Shakespeare's Taming of the Shrew. Did you see this one in the theater?
Oh, God, no. I wasn't a teenager, so it wouldn't have appealed to me.
Yeah.
I don't know there was a lot of movies that came out in 1999 that I really enjoy. It's just this one, I think I just checked it off as something for kids and I didn't check it out.
1999 was like an amazing year for movies. So it's not hard to believe that maybe this movie would get lost in the shuffle. I forgot to mention this movie is written by Kirsten Smith and Karen McCullough, and they are a writing duo. And they have written, so they did this movie. They also wrote Legally Blonde.
Oh, I love Legally Blonde.
Which I love Legally Blonde. Love it. Ella Enchanted.
Oh, yeah.
They also did She's the Man, which was an adaptation of Shakespeare's Twelfth Night. And they did The House Bunny, which I saw parts of and thought was really cute and have been meaning to rewatch. And then they also did The Ugly Truth, which I didn't see. But other people seem to really like. But that's a pretty good list of movies.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I wanted to give them a little shout out. This movie came out the same day as The Matrix. That's probably why we didn't see it. FYI.
Oh my God. Did it really?
Yeah. So I know I 100% went and saw The Matrix like opening day. So there was no way I was seeing 10 Things I Hate About You to see Julia Stiles and her overplucked eyebrows and some dude named Heath Ledger. I had no idea who he was. And this is the movie that made him a movie star, I think, or like kind of put him on the radar in Hollywood.
It's his first American film. He's from Australia, and sometimes I have to say with his accent, was it there or was it not there?
It tended to. He's Australian in the movie, so it's okay that it's there. But sometimes I'm like, where'd it go? What happened to your accent?
I did the same thing. I know, I did the same thing. I was just like, is he trying to be more American in this scene, or what's going on here? Yeah,
I don't know. He's very cute in it, though. He's very handsome.
Oh, he was so handsome.
And
R.I.P.
And I think Joseph Gordon-Levitt is actually really, really cute in this movie too. Actually, everybody is.
Everybody's cute. Everybody's adorable. Everybody drink.
Everybody's adorable.
It's an adorable cast. Larry Miller's really good.
Yeah.
Allison Janney's hilarious as the school principal that's writing a dirty novel.
It's so weird. It's so weird. It's very sexualized. Like her interactions with all the kids are very sexualized. It's very strange and inappropriate, but funny.
Yeah.
If you guys don't know what Taming of the Shrew is about, it's about a young girl who, well, I'm going to say this plot for 10 Things I Hate About You. I'm not going to retell Taming of the Shrew. So, the younger daughter, Bianca, played by, I think her name is Larissa Olenek.
Yeah.
Let's say that's right. She's very cute, too. She wants to date, but she can't date until her older sister starts dating, and that's Kat, played by Julia Stiles. And we're supposed to think she's kind of a pain in the ass, kind of a bitch. I don't think of her that way, actually. I just think she's very strong. She knows what she wants. She has an opinion. I mean, I think now people would say she's woke.
Yeah.
Anyway, nobody in high school wants to date her because she's a pain in the ass. So Joseph Gordon-Levitt's character and David Krumholtz rope in Heath Ledger's character to try to woo Kat to date her so that Bianca can start dating.
Which is a weird construct for a movie to kind of hang itself on. I mean, these are really pretty girls and very popular. They're going to be asked out. Yeah. I mean, it's like, and all their friends are dating. So what is Larry Miller trying to prevent them from? I mean, I guess pregnancy, that's it. This is also one of those, virgin panic movies that, we're supposed to think it's normal for a man to be obsessed with his daughter's virginity. Mm-hmm. And think that's okay to talk about. This is, by the way, around the time that Britney Spears came out.
Yes.
And so, we have this idea of like the coquette and like teenage girls. Oh, they're so desirable, but they don't know what they're doing. And it's a very weird time. And it was for a long time in America that we had these movies that were about that, just about people protecting virginity.
Yeah.
And it's kind of bullshit. I mean, kids are going to lose it. I mean,
yeah. Yeah, it's super weird. It's a very weird thing. And like there's also kind of this other little plot twist in which they need to pay Heath Ledger to date Julia Stiles because that's the reality we're in here in this movie. So they rope in like a rich, dumb kid who works as like a part-time model for like catalogs and stuff to actually pay Heath Ledger so that he can date Bianca. So there's like two people like vying for Bianca's affections, and one is like the one who actually likes her and the other one is the one that's like just a dumb dude that wants to fuck her, basically.
Right.
And he's played by Andrew Keegan, and he's pretty typical like 90s teen comedy villain.
He's very handsome.
He is. I did laugh out loud where he was trying to show the difference between his poses.
Yeah.
So what do you think of Julia Stiles as Kat? Do you think she's a bitch?
No, I think first of all, it's another movie that tells us that the most beautiful girl in the school is not someone anyone wants to go out with.
Exactly.
No one wants to be friends with her. No one wants to be associated with her whatsoever because she's smart, because she drives a very cool vintage car,
right?
Because she has excellent taste in music and books. I don't know, like, get that bitch away from me.
I know she's gross.
She's horrible. I think it's so frustrating.
Yeah.
But the movie lets us know that we're supposed to like her, that she is smart and she's an individual.
Yes.
And she's doing her own thing. It's just she's stuck in a town where that's not appreciated.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff in here that's frustrating about the way she's treated because she is really smart. She doesn't put up with a lot of bullshit. I'm like, I'm into it. Like, if anything, she should be a role model for us all. And, she gets like sent to the office for voicing her opinion in a class. But when a boy does it, he gets to stay in the class. It's like, well,
that's happened several times to her.
Yeah, that happens throughout the movie. Or, that creep, the model named Joey, like he blocks her car in a parking lot and like just walks off, and she's stuck there. So she backs up and hits his car, which is pretty funny. And then the dad's like, my insurance doesn't cover PMS. Like, it's just like everything is dismissed as like,
Right.
you know, PMS, hormones, girl, you know, it sucks. That
Yeah.
part sucks. I mean, I understand that. I think the movie is on her side, but still, it sucks to watch.
It's hard to be a woman sometimes, is what they're saying.
Yes.
And we're in the suburbs, not exactly the most progressive place to be.
Yes.
People like gender roles in the suburbs. I grew up in the suburbs. That's not me slamming the suburbs. They have their thing, but I also know what it's like there because that you're expected to be. You're supposed to be normal. You're expected to be like everybody else. You're not expected to be an individual when you live in that kind of. And by the way, how gorgeous is that house that she lives in?
Right? It's a beautiful house.
I looked it up online. They sold it last year.
Oh my
God.
God.
Or in 2018 for $1.5 million. And I'm like, that house in San Francisco or New York would be $10 million.
Yeah. No. I was looking at house listings here in San Francisco, and there's like 2-bedroom, 1-bath, like 900 square feet, total shithole. That'll be $900,000, please.
And by the way, we're only taking cash, so just cash offers.
Right.
That's
We need
kills me.
We need your Twitter stock money, please. Like, ugh. Anyway, so these guys all decide that Kat needs to get laid, I guess, is their answer. So they offer to pay Heath Ledger's character, Patrick, to date her. They offer him $50, which he then takes. He's like, sure, $50. And I'm like, that seems really low stakes when you think of, I think, Can't Buy Me Love. It was like $3,000 or something to like date
for that
him.
Incredible suede dress. Yes.
Yeah, that she, agrees to date him for like $3,000 or something. Like the idea that the original payment is like $50. I'm like, that seems really low.
Well, it's 20 years ago, so
yeah. I mean,
and it's a high school kid.
Yeah, it's not like teenagers are rolling in it, but eventually the price goes up. Because then it's like $100 a date or something, and then it's like $300 to take her to the prom. So, inflation, it kicks in.
Right.
So at one point, Julia Stiles' character, Kat, goes to a club, and it's called Club Skunk. And he's like, Patrick's like, I'm not going there. I wouldn't be caught dead there. And he goes in, and I was like, why wouldn't he have been caught dead there? It seems pretty cool. It's a girl band is playing. Is that Letters to Cleo up there? But they're playing another band.
Yeah, this is Letters to Cleo. So they had they're from Boston. They had a song on the Melrose Place soundtrack and did Here and Now. And that did really well on rock radio. And then after that, they did a bunch of covers. Like they did a cover in The Craft.
Yeah.
Dangerous Type. And they did some other TV shows. They were on Community. So they had this moment, and they had like a very cute blonde lead singer with a good voice.
Yeah.
But it's a universe where they're like big stars. And I mean, they're a good band, but in Tacoma, where she is, like.
Were they also the band that did like Josie and the Pussycats?
Oh, I can look that up.
I think so. Which, by the way, Josie and the Pussycats is a really good movie. Everybody should watch it. I think it's really cute. You should watch it if you haven't seen it. Have you seen it?
No, I've never seen it.
Oh my gosh. You should see it. It's actually really good. You don't think it's going to be good, but it is like a snapshot of that time. Like it's all about like MTV, TRL, that kind of boy band music. Anyway, it's really good. We can definitely talk about it sometime. I wanted to talk about David Krumholtz. That is the one character in the movie that I would have dated.
And it's funny because he was in The Santa Claus.
Yes.
We talked about that recently. He's very cute. He's a big sex symbol to like a certain generation of women.
I totally get it. I think he's really, really cute in this movie. I totally would date him. I love that he tries to pick up on so they all go to a party. Everybody goes. Kat goes too. Patrick goes. He goes. And I love like his pickup lines are like, I'm thinking about getting a Tercel. He's like, that's a Toyota. He's like, it's got dual side airbags. Like, I was like, I would totally hang out with you.
See, and I would want to date Heath Ledger.
Yes. I mean, obviously. Come on, he's such a cool guy. But realistically, David Krumholtz is my type.
Yeah.
So in these 90s teen movies, I never understand the music they're listening to at these parties.
Okay, thank you. The music selections were bananas. Because it had like the Gap Band.
Yeah.
It had songs from like I looked it up. It was like from 1979. Like these kids would not be listening to that.
No, kids are not. Look, I love these songs, by the way.
Me too.
I love Word Up by Cameo. I love Atomic Dog. I love Push It. You know, the Thompson Twins, all these things. This is the shit that would play at a party I went to in high school, not theirs.
Not in the 90s.
It happens a lot in these movies. Like, I remember Can't Hardly Wait had stuff like that too, where I was like, these kids wouldn't be listening to Tone Loc's Funky Cole Medina.
That would be so old to them and not interesting.
That would be like if you and I went to a party in the 80s and they were like, now we're going to play new songs by the Everly Brothers or something. We'd be like, what?
Or the Partridge Family or something. Yeah.
So weird.
Yeah, it was like, I was a little kid. I liked it, but no, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a weird soundtrack. It's a little all over the place.
It is. So then Kat drinks too much at the party and dances on a table to maybe one of the only modern songs at that party, Hypnotized by Notorious B.I.G.
Yeah.
That song is dope. And then
it is.
she she's on a table dancing. She's a good dancer.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm taking dance classes to learn to dance like that. It's not working. And she jumps up and like hits her head on a chandelier or something. And Patrick catches her and like wants to make sure that she doesn't have a concussion. So he tries to keep her awake. And they actually have like a nice little scene where they kind of chat and sit on swings and actually get to know each other a little bit.
And then she vomits all over the place. But he handles it very gracefully.
He does. He's actually really...
He's a nice person.
Yeah, he's actually a good person. And he's actually really sweet to her, I think. And then he drives her home and she likes him and he likes her. And she leans in for the kiss and he's like, you know, he understands consent. He's like, you've been drinking? He's like, we're not going to do this. Also, she just vomited all over him.
Yeah, that's what it really is. I don't think, I think he's just like, go brush your teeth, rinse with a little bit of Scope or something like that, Listerman.
Yeah, it's so funny because like then there's this thing where like she's mad at him because he didn't kiss her. And I just feel like he could have said to her, well, you really had just vomited everywhere. Maybe I didn't want any of that action, right? You know,
right.
It's like, could you blame him for that? I don't think so.
Oh, but she's a silly girl, Sonia. Yeah. They don't know what they're talking about.
They don't. I do like Julia Stiles in this movie a lot. And I actually like Kat a lot. I like that she's complex. She's not easy. She's not just, I'm a bitch for no reason. She's very guarded and abrasive with people, but it is for a good reason. And, you know, maybe we could get into that. We could talk about spoilers. This movie's quite old.
Yeah. But it's been 20 years.
Yeah. But she's someone who's been hurt, you know, but she's a good person. Like she has fun with her friends. She plays soccer. Like she has like her own interests in things. I like that there's not a makeover scene, although I love makeover scenes. I don't want to shit on makeover scenes, but I like that there's no like, and now we're going to try to make Kat look like Bianca.
Right.
Like she always looks like Kat, which I appreciate. I think that's cool.
No, it's got a good message when it comes to her. I mean, I think like the mother left, right? That's what happened. And that's why she's a little bit hard. And then we also find out because, well, first of all, Bianca wants to date Joey.
Yes.
The Andrew Keegan character is kind of a shit, who's a total shit. And then, but also Joseph Gordon-Levitt has a crush on her. So she's got these two guys vying for her attention. And she can't understand why her sister's so, you know, cold to boys, because she knows she can't be gay because she likes Jared Leto. I was like, oh my God, you people.
Because he's not a gateway. He's not a gateway to lesbianism.
Not at all. It's the oversimplification of
Yes.
just like, we're kind of being cool by mentioning that there are lesbians in the world, but don't worry, she's not one of them
Yes.
because she likes Jared Leto.
Or maybe
I
she likes both, but we're not going to entertain that fact in 1999.
No, that's too complicated. Yeah, but that's too complicated. But then it turns out that Kat admits to her sister that she did date him Joey for a little while, and they had sex, and he pressured her into it. And that's when, and she woke up and she had a lot of, when she was done, she had a lot of regrets about it. And so that's when she said to her sister, I'm not going to do something just because somebody wants me to do it.
Yes.
And I'm not going to be talked into things. I'm going to, right. Which is a good message.
A really good message for teens, actually.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know it's the type of thing I always try to tell my nieces. They're 17 and like 11 now. And I'm just like, just be who you are. Who cares?
Right.
Who cares what these people think? Seriously, you're going to graduate from high school and you'll probably never see them again. Just be you. Who cares?
I was getting my hair colored yesterday, and the woman in the chair next to me, we got along right away. We were chatting with each other, and she is like kind of a quirky Brooklyn artist, you could tell. And it was super cold yesterday, and she wore jeans and a nice top and everything. And then when she was leaving, she was walking home, and she takes out her bag and she put sweatpants over her jeans. And just kind of layered herself up. And she goes, this is how I dress. It's comfortable. I don't care. I'm
Good
like,
for her.
Good for you. Good for you.
Seriously, it took me forever to finally learn the lesson of fuck that.
Yeah.
I'm just going to wear what I want and be happy. And
Yeah.
I get a lot of weird, like, why are you wearing saddle shoes? And I was like, because I think they're cute as fuck.
Yeah. Or you have pink hair. That's really cool.
Oh, well, thank you. I just like to wear what's fun. And anyway, we're off on a side tangent.
Yeah.
So there is a scene where this is, I think, probably the most famous scene because it's the scene I had seen. I had never seen this movie before this watch, but I had seen the part where Heath Ledger like serenades Julia Stiles. He sings. What's the song he sings?
You're just too good to be. Can't take my eyes off of you.
Can't
That's
take
the name
my
of the
eyes
song.
off of you, which is totally something a teenager would sing.
In 1975. It wouldn't have, and supposedly that was Julia Stiles' thing. Like that's the song she really liked. I mean, I love Frankie Valli, and I like 70s Frankie Valli way more than the doo-wop shit. I don't like doo-wop at all. But still, it's like they wouldn't. That was like from, oh God, what was the Michelle Pfeiffer movie I'm thinking of where she's the singer? The Fabulous Baker Boys. That's where it belongs, not in a teen movie.
Yes. It's very strange. It's, once again, interesting song choices here. So he does a big song, in front of everybody. It's very famous. It's very cute,
Yes.
And I think that's kind of what leads to like her agreeing to like see him again. And then they have like a fun little day together where they go and like smash paint on each other. Paintball. And there's also like a lot of like extravagant prom proposals or something going on in this movie. And I'm wondering, is this the start of those promposals? That's a thing now.
No, what's that?
It's where usually boys asking out girls, and it's very extravagant the way they ask them out. Like, I wrote your name on a mountain. Go to the prom with me. I rented a plane with a sign behind it. Go to the prom with me. Like very like marriage proposal things, which by the way, you don't need to do that for marriage proposals either, but whatever. It's fine. A lot of like I think they call them promposals.
It seems like something, a kid would do to like brag on Instagram, how they got a girl to go out with them. But it seems like an awful lot of trouble for something really kind of insignificant in the long run. But
yeah.
It's like also like gender reveal parties. I'm just
my God, that was my
why
next
is that a thing?
That was my next example. Those things are going so fucking wrong.
Yeah.
When they go wrong, it is like the funniest thing. I'm like, that's what you get. This is dumb. But I mean, if it makes you happy, whatever. I should be a little bit more open-minded. But
I know,
also,
but it's the downside of social media. Like for me, like because people used to not advertise every single moment of their lives. And just turn it into a production.
Yes.
People used to like have a thing like children, and they just had children. It wasn't like balloons had to be released.
Right.
so that everyone can know the gender.
I'm releasing 4 white doves for every trimester of my, or whatever. Like for every month I'm pregnant right now, I'm releasing a dove. And whatever. Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. Whatever. It's fine. So let's see. Kat reveals that she had sex. Her sister isn't very sympathetic at first.
No.
When she reveals, like, maybe why she's very cold. She's instead mad at her for not telling her.
Well, that and because she's having sex with the guy she really likes.
Yeah.
So, and then she's telling her he had a small dick. So maybe that's what's also going through her head.
She's like,
the disappointment.
She's more disappointed than anything else. But then Kat decides she will go to the prom because all these movies they all have to come together at the prom. So she decides she will go to the prom, that she will do this for Bianca. She wants to let her experience things for herself. And that's another thing in the movie I actually liked. I like that she is trying to protect her sister. She's trying to keep her from making the same mistake she made. And that's why she's participating in her dad's random, you can date when your sister dates thing.
Right.
Or because she's trying to protect her. But then she realizes, like, I'm not doing her any favors. She has to live her life and make her own mistakes.
Yeah, exactly. That's the message we should all be. Yeah, that's it.
So they're getting ready. So they go to the prom. We don't get a makeover scene. Kat looks beautiful. Bianca's prom dress, I actually would wear that shit right now. It's like,
I thought of you when I saw it.
It's like a pink tulle, like skirt, and then like a pink top with like sleeves and stuff. I was like, I'd totally wear that. I'd wear it to work. I don't care. It's adorable. It actually reminds me of the dress I bought for the work holiday party. It's really cute. I love it. Some 90s fashion doesn't hold up for me, but that dress does. What else did you go to your prom?
Oh yeah. I went to the junior and senior prom.
I went to the senior prom. Did you have a band at your prom?
No, I think we had DJs, if memory serves.
Yeah, we also had DJs. I don't think I've ever been to a prom or a school dance that had a band. Is that an LA thing?
I don't. You know what? When I was in Pennsylvania, I lived in Pennsylvania my freshman and sophomore year, excuse me. And we did. Sometimes they would let teenagers that went to the school. You could audition to be the band for the homecoming thing or whatever. So yeah, I've been to school stuff where they did have a band, but it was usually like somebody from the school.
Yeah. Interesting. That's just not something I see it all the time in movies, obviously, but it was not a thing for me. But I didn't go to a lot of school dances because I was a nerd.
I was very socially awkward, and I was usually the new kid. I moved 3 times when I was in high school.
Yeah.
So yeah, but it's a good place to also learn how to make small talk. I mean, it's brutal and hard, but it does make you better at it. And I'm remembering one band. I had a crush on the guy, and he was the band on stage. And so I was front row, and they were playing Van Halen, Hot for Teacher. And I remember going crazy.
So inappropriate. I'm hot for teacher. So funny.
But I remember being really excited, like, oh, these guys are good. They weren't nearly as good, but
that is so funny. When I went
I'm old.
No, you're not. When I went to school dances, I would be probably lined up along the wall with like Anthony Michael Hall and 16 Candles. Like that was more my jam. And then you get the group of girls that will all dance together and like kick their shoes off in a circle and dance. That would be me. That was my jam.
Yeah.
I think while they're at what point in the movie where we get a Letters to Cleo remake and it's Cruel to Be Kind?
Which I love that song, by the way.
I love the original, and I was like, I like this remake too. I think it's really good.
It's pretty good. They did that, and I Want You to Want Me, the Cheap Trick. But I'm like, but why am I getting Letters to Cleo? Like it's like the 3rd cover that they've done in a movie. Like why are we doing that? Just play a Letters to Cleo song or get the Nick Lowe version.
Yes. The music is all over the place, just like you said.
It doesn't make any sense. It's all like, it's very random.
Yes. Do you think that Heath Ledger's character is kind of gaslighting Julia Stiles' character throughout this movie?
There's some, I don't understand his motivation. Is it just that he's a new kid and he likes to fuck with people? Because he's supposed to be kind of dangerous, and I give him like a very dark rinse in his hair and everything. I'm like, make him blonde, guys. He's cute.
Dark rinse.
Yeah, that's, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I do know.
He started like make him look like Eddie Vedder or
By the
something.
way, he looks like a man.
Yeah, he does look like. How old was he when he made this movie?
That is a good question. I'm going to look it up right now.
Because I know Gabrielle Union was 26.
Yes.
She looks 16, though. She looks super young.
Yeah.
And then the other girl, what's her name? Mandela? Susan May Pratt, I looked this up. She was 28.
Yeah. He was 20.
He dated Julia Stiles.
Did he?
For a little bit. Yeah, they had an on-set kind of romance.
Aww.
They have good chemistry, though. I totally see it.
They do. And I actually like those characters. They're outsiders and they're each doing their own things. But like I said, he's 20 and he looks 20. He looks like a man. And trust me, like in high school, I don't think teenagers look like that. They just don't.
No.
They look, Freddie Prinze Jr. and She's All That is maybe more close to what teenagers look like.
Right.
Like kind of dopey and whatever. I think he gaslights her a little because like she questions his motives a lot because she is so guarded. And he just lies to her like, no, I actually like you. And it's true. Like he does like her, but she's questioning why. Why are you pursuing me? Why? And he's never honest with her, of course, until the end. And
what's he supposed to say? Well, I'm being paid to, so
yeah, I don't know.
Anyway, let's go get some lunch.
Yeah, but her gut was right, you know.
Right.
Like her gut was telling her something's not right, and she was right. But the truth is, he does like her. In the scene at the end where she reads her poem in the class, and it's about him. It's a very sweet poem.
Yeah, it is.
And their scene is very nice, and I mean, the movie's just fine. I don't know what else to say. It's like, it's fine.
It's a totally fine movie. I mean, I think it's not my generation.
Yeah.
And so I don't have like if I was like 10 years old when I saw this, I think it would be like the greatest, teen movie ever.
Yes.
I would just be totally all over it. I'm a little older than that, so.
Yeah. I mean, I was 28 when this movie came out. Like there was nothing. So and like I said, I didn't see it when it came out, but even like 28-year-old Sonia, I don't know if there would have been anything for me to latch on to.
No, you're too old. It's a teen movie. That would be weird if you went to see that. Unless you were taking your niece or something, you do that as a dodge, to other people.
Yeah.
No.
But then on the flip side, like I would have been 24 when I saw Clueless, and I loved Clueless.
Clueless is its own thing.
Yeah.
That is a brilliant comedy. Like that totally holds up.
I think that it's more than just a teen comedy.
No, it's a satire.
Yeah.
And it's of a whole generation and Alicia Silverstone, like that's the perfect part for her.
Mm-hmm.
She was so good in that. It had so many great lines and so much great comedy and it had more weirdos and stuff like that from the high school. These kids here are a little homogenized. I mean, they just tend to be, they don't really stand out.
Yeah.
I did like the scenes, I have to say, with Mitchell, Daryl Mitchell as Mr. Morgan. Like he's really trying to when Julia Stiles is trying to like sass back to him,
mm-hmm.
and he's just letting her know like, yeah, you're not a black person, so you don't know oppression. Like I know oppression.
Yes.
But at the same time, you're right. He punishes her and then lets Andrew Keegan stay in the class. Like he doesn't send him to the principal's office. And by the way, she's a 17-year-old girl. Like what else would she know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Give her a break. She's trying. At least she's trying,
Yeah, he calls her out on kind of her white girl privilege. Yes. But he doesn't do the same for the dudes in the class.
Yeah,
so
and
it's
I
sexist.
think it's sexist, and also it's just like, and she's just a kid. Like,
give
her a break. She's really at least she's trying to think outside what she's been told, right? Yeah.
And Heath Ledger, do you think he's like full on movie? Did you see this and you go like, I could see why he became such a movie star?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has a lot of charisma.
He does. You could see why, like, I can't believe that not every girl in that school is like, I'm going to hit that.
With the Australian accent on
Right.
top of it.
There's some weird thing like,
it.
he's a weirdo. I don't want. He's gross. He's weird. What?
In
What?
my high school, which was as white and suburban as it gets in New Jersey, those girls would have been tapping that right away.
Oh my God, they would be lining up. They would be lining
absolutely.
up. It would be a fight to date that dude. It's insane to me that he's some sort of loser. I'm like, what?
Well, the same thing with Julia Stiles. Like, there's not one boy there that wants to ask her out. Really?
Right. She's so cute, and she's got like such
beautiful.
Yeah, I love her anyway. Like when she shows up in things, I like her. I think she's good. I think her eyebrows are overplucked here, but I point that out in every 90s movie we watch.
That's what they did in the 90s, yeah.
It's not her fault. It's not her fault. Did you see Save the Last Dance? Which came out, I think, after this, where she's the ballerina.
No.
It's I'm like, I saw that one in the theater and remember liking it. I'm like, maybe we should put it on the list sometime.
Did you send that to me in a text?
No, I also sent you Center Stage. So
with Peter, what's his face? Eyebrows?
With Peter Gallagher's eyebrows. That's his full name to me, Peter Gallagher's eyebrows.
And then I sent you a gif of John Belushi's eyebrows.
I guess I'm obsessed with eyebrows. I don't know when that started. But there was her best friend in 10 Things I Hate About You is someone who was also in the movie Center Stage, which I think came out the following year. And it's a movie about ballerinas, and there's like the rebel dancer and the nice guy dancer, and they're both trying to like dance with this one girl, and it's pretty silly. But I would totally watch it right now. And Save the Last Dance, I think, also came out that year. And that was Julia Stiles was a ballerina who pairs up with like a quote unquote street dancer and learns how to dance street, and then combines her ballerina dancing with street dancing to get into like an exclusive school or program or something. But it's good.
Wasn't
and people
that Flashdance? Didn't we see this with Flashdance? She was just trying to be about what was the reverse. She was a street dancer who wanted to be a ballet dancer.
She was a stripper.
She was a dancer.
She was a stripper who never took off her clothes. She's an exotic dancer.
Exotic dancer is what we'd say now.
Who also, watched like breakdancing once on the street and then started
to perform a tuck and roll like out of nowhere. We covered that, by the way, you guys. You can look at our back catalog. Yeah.
Please go back and listen to our Flashdance episode. It is actually one of my favorites that we did. Do you want to hear... Oh, actually, I wanted to mention some of the other people that were up for Heath Ledger's part.
Okay.
It is so 90s. Josh Hartnett.
Oh, of course.
And Ashton Kutcher.
Yeah. I could see that.
Sure. Very 90s, though. And then up for lead parts was Katie Holmes.
Sure.
And I'm like, that makes sense. And Kate Hudson.
Wow. Kate Hudson, how adorable is she?
She's so adorable. Katie Holmes is too.
Oh, they both are. I think Katie Holmes had a really good career going.
Yeah.
And then she married the couch jumper. and it's been very rare to see her since then. And that's too bad because she's good.
She is. She's so good. When she turns up in things, I'm like, oh, Katie Holmes.
Yeah.
And then she disappears. And then was she dating Jamie Foxx?
For years,
like
she was dating him,
like secretly.
But I mean, if you read Us Weekly like I do, yes, they dated on and off for many, many years. They just finally broke up because he wouldn't make a commitment. Yeah,
lame.
Yeah,
his loss. She's awesome.
Yeah, I agree.
I wrote down some other 1999 movies.
Okay,
they are all teenager movies because we've done 99 movies before, so I didn't want to do the top 10. So I just. Movies about teenagers. American Pie.
Yeah, oh yeah. I did see that one, by the way.
I saw that one in the theater too, because everyone wanted to see a dude hump a pie. We all had to do it.
That was a funny movie. I don't know if it holds up, but that was super funny. I remember.
Varsity Blues.
That movie is crap, but
we could totally do an episode on that one someday. She's All That, which we have done an episode on. Jawbreaker.
Oh my God, I haven't seen that in a long time.
I saw that one in the theater, I think, but I haven't seen it since then. Cruel Intentions.
Oh, everybody knows that movie.
Okay, this has been a request from multiple people, and we absolutely will do it when it starts streaming, when it's streaming somewhere. Like, I don't even think we could rent it.
No, it's one of the ones that's really hard to get, because we also get the one, Robert Downey Jr., James Spader.
Less Than Zero.
Less Than Zero. Thank you. Because of the music rights, you can't find it streaming anywhere. It had like a really expensive soundtrack.
Yeah. So if you notice that it's finally streaming, give us a heads up on Twitter or something, and we'll totally put it on the list, because we're not ignoring your requests, I promise. Election came out in 99. Election is awesome.
Love Election.
I love Election too, and we should put that. It's definitely on our list. We'll revisit. Maybe we'll save that for election season.
God, are we going to be alive then? Is the world going to still be around?
No, that's me being like wishful thinking. Idle Hands came out in 99. It's kind of a horror movie where someone's hands tries to kill them or something.
Okay.
Dick. We love Dick.
We love Dick. That's the best. I think that's the best movie of 99. There you go.
We did an episode on Dick. I just like saying Dick. Detroit Rock City came out. I didn't see that one. Did you?
Not good.
No.
It's a great premise. It's about these kids going to a Kiss concert, and they did nothing with it.
Okay. Drop Dead Gorgeous, which I have not seen.
It's not good. I'm sorry.
I know you tried to watch it, and you were like,
I tried.
You're all, don't do it, Sonia.
I'm sorry. I just can't. I don't find the funny with it. I think I get the premise, but I don't think it's as funny as everybody else does. Sorry.
I know everybody loves it, but maybe it's not for us. Teaching Mrs. Tingle.
Oh God, I haven't seen that in a long time.
I think that has Katie Holmes in it and Helen Mirren.
And Helen Mirren's like a mean teacher, right? And they're trying to kill her. She's the Mrs. Tingle?
Yeah.
From the title?
Yes. What a name. Mrs. Tingle. And then Drive Me Crazy.
Oh, God.
Which I didn't see, but I know the song. You drive me crazy. Is
that Brittany?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't, and Melissa Joan Hart is the lead, and then that guy from Entourage and Devil Wears Prada is the romantic lead.
Adrian Grenier.
Yeah, him.
He used to live in my neighborhood.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Was he a good neighbor? Was he nice?
He was very sweet. He worked at the Park Slope Food Co-op, which is a very famous co-op, if you look it up.
Mm-hmm.
And him and Hope Davis both worked there at the same time.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I don't like Entourage, and I didn't like him in Devil Wears Prada. I'm sorry.
His character was shitty.
He's the real villain of Devil Wears Prada, and we did a whole episode about that one, so please listen.
So we've done 99 a few times, so instead I decided to pick the top albums of 1999. So I'll read it from top to like 10 on. So number 10, it was Fan Mail by TLC. I had it.
Yep.
Limp Bizkit, Significant Other.
I have a lot of shame about the fact that I listened to Limp Bizkit back in the day.
Nookie was a fun song. I'm going to say it.
And then
I don't know. It's stupid, but it's fun.
And I don't know if Break Stuff was on that album, but that was one of the ones I really liked.
The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. That's Lauryn Hill.
Yeah. That album's awesome.
I'm sorry. The Offspring, Americana. Garth Brooks, Double Live.
He was so popular in the 90s.
In the 90s, he certainly was. Ricky Martin's self-titled album, Ricky Martin.
Huge.
NSYNC's self-titled album, NSYNC. And this album you could not get away from, in 99. Come On Over by Shania Twain.
Oh my God, she was everywhere. You made me feel like a woman. That one.
This is my friend Aaron always talks about this. Shania Twain actually had a lyric that went like this. Okay, so you're Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
Like, and that became a song. So stupid, but it's
Yeah.
catchy.
Oh, that's that song, That Don't Impress Me Much.
That don't impress me much.
Much.
And the #1 album of 1999. Are you ready?
Yep.
Millennium by the Backstreet Boys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Backstreet's back. All right.
So Sonia and I co-host a podcast called What a Creep, and we talked about Lou Pearlman, who was he was the manager for both NSYNC and Backstreet Boys, and they both fired his ass.
Yeah.
And he's a total creep. You should listen to it.
Yes, that's a good episode. Margo does an awesome job on that.
Thank
so,
you.
what else are you dorking out about?
So speaking of music, Netflix has this series, and it's called Hip Hop Evolution.
I watched the first season of that.
Is this the first season, or is
I
this?
think it might be in the second season now. I only watched some of the first season. Go ahead. Sorry, I interrupted.
So they were talking about they're just going to different regions of New York in the 80s and 90s, and then I saw the one yesterday, and it was the Bay Area in the late 80s, early 90s, and it's like Too Short and MC Hammer and all these, like, the Digital Underground. I fucking loved the Digital Underground.
I love the Digital Underground.
Oh, they're so good. And then the other one after that is that they go to Atlanta. And so Atlanta's all the Atlanta bands like Snoop Dogg and also TLC.
Oh, okay.
And it's just, it's a really interesting education. There's a lot of stuff I didn't know, but it's also just an interesting slice of life in America at that time that wasn't mainstream. And then it became the mainstream, and it's just like super interesting.
Yeah.
He got great interviews with people. And it makes you want to listen to that music, and it's super, super well done. So that's the thing I'm really dorking out about is Hip Hop Evolution, and that's on Netflix.
That is a really good recommendation. I really like Hammer. I live in the Bay Area, and Hammer is still like, he's royalty here.
Oh, I remember. I went to San Jose State, and I remember I would be driving my car, and he had like 2 Rolls Royces, Hammer 1 and Hammer 2. And he had a home in the East Bay.
Yeah.
Like, he had a big mansion in the East Bay. Yeah, you could see him. Yeah. He's still like a big star there.
Yes. And if anyone
the Bay Area.
tries to like diss Hammer in front of me, I won't have it. I'm like, I think Hammer's awesome. I love Hammer's music. I still listen to Turn This Mother Out all the time. That is like older Hammer. I love it. I love it.
I love the Digital Underground. They have a song called The Same Old Song is one of their songs. It's from a really bad movie, a Dan Aykroyd movie. Yeah. Nothing in Trouble or something like that.
Yeah, it's called like Nothing But Trouble. Yeah.
And it's one of my favorite jams ever. I had like a 12-inch version of that, like the big extended version. I would play it over and over again.
We're like the same person. I'm like, I love Humpty Dance. I do.
Yes!
I have it memorized. My whole family does. But like, I love Same Song. I listen to it all the time. And it's got Tupac in it.
And they talk about Tupac and how ambitious he was. And he was a dancer then. He was like kind of goofy. I know.
Them.
It was so interesting. But yeah, it was just like a big slice of life of the Bay Area back then. The Bash Brothers and all that stuff. It was just, it brought back a lot of memories for me.
I'm going to watch that one. So I have 2 things. One is I watched the Taylor Swift documentary on Netflix called Miss Americana, and it's really, really good. Did you bring this up last week?
No, I think Aaron and I talked on Best Neighbors podcast.
It's really good. It's really interesting.
It's like I'm actually reading Jessica Simpson's book.
Yeah.
And I saw this documentary about Taylor Swift of like 2 blonde women I would think I would have no interest in, and now I'm like, oh, they're really smart, and they've been screwed over by people, and people want to like tear them down for some reason, and they just keep going. And good for them. They're very talented, and Taylor especially, like, she's got such a good head on her shoulders. And I think like people just shit on her because of the boys she was dating, and it's like, if I were that beautiful and those kind of guys were asking me out when I was 20, 21, of course I'd go out with them. Not Jake Gyllenhaal, sure.
Yeah. Imagine being this is the thing with like social media now. Your life is so public. You were saying like you share like every moment on social media. Like imagine like all your worst mistakes are on like a public stage. I dated when I was in my 20s. I made a series of terrible mistakes. I can't imagine
Yeah.
making my bad romantic choices on a worldwide stage for everyone to
Oh, and
critique.
and people would mock her like, oh, she writes songs about it. Like, yeah, she's a goddamn songwriter.
Yeah.
She's going to write about what exists in her life. That's going
Yes.
to inspire her like it would any dude. And
Yeah.
nobody gives them a hard time for doing it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And just there's a lot of footage of her when she was younger and kind of how she transitioned to where she is now, and kind of watching her like wake up and realize that she has a platform where
Yep.
she can encourage people to do the right thing, I think is really awesome. And I was really impressed. I thought it was really, really good. And it's an
It makes you
easy
see her
watch.
it's a very easy watch, and it makes you see her as a human and as a
Yeah.
person.
I really enjoyed it. So that was a
Yeah.
good rec from you. And I got really excited because I saw that there was a new vegan cooking show, which we don't have really, on Amazon Prime. And I went to watch it, and it's not good. And I was so
Oh.
disappointed.
Oh no, who's in it?
It's just called New Day, New Chef. And I just don't think they put any money into it at all. And
Oh.
but it's set up so weird. So it's, because I got excited. I thought, oh, it's going to be like a Food Network show where like a nice host is going to cook a meal and we're going to watch her prepare it. And instead, it's like three people up there just like yammering away. And there's also like a live studio audience. It's like a QVC thing almost. And
Oh
there's like, and
no.
they're just like, yay, like clapping and laughing at weird times. And then there's like three people sitting off to the side who are going to eat the food, but they're not like judges. I don't know who they are. And it's just set up very, very strange. And I got so excited to see vegan cooking. And then when I watched it, it was like, we're going to make a vegan pizza. Step 1, get a vegan pizza crust.
Oh,
I'm like,
okay.
do you want to tell people how to make a vegan pizza crust? Do you want to recommend a brand that people could buy? Like, I think the show is for people who are maybe curious about vegan cooking. I don't think it's for people like me who've been doing it for a little while.
Right.
But I don't think it's trying to make everything look easy, which is good. Like, that's smart. But like, it's not helpful at all. I'm like, get a vegan pizza crust. What does that mean? Like, where? Is most pizza crust vegan? Where could I buy it? Like, do you have brands I could, get some vegan mayonnaise? Where's vegan mayonnaise? Could I make my own? Like, it's just shit like that. It was like pissing me off. And my husband was watching it with me, and he was just laughing out loud at like every time the studio audience laughed, he started laughing. He's all, this is so shitty. I was like, it's so low rent. I was like, they could do better. You could do better. Come on, Amazon. You have such great shit. What's up with
And they have
this?
money, and they have money for this.
Yeah. There's this new documentary on Netflix. It came out a couple weeks ago on Netflix. It's called The Game Changers. And it's like Arnold Schwarzenegger produced it, and like James Cameron and all this stuff. And it's all about like athletes who do vegan diets and stuff. And like there's like What the Health on Netflix, and what's the other one that came out before What the Health that everyone was freaking out about? Cowspiracy or something. Anyway, there's all these vegan documentaries, and they're really well done, and they put a lot of money in them. And I was like, this is the next step. A nice vegan cooking show would be really helpful for people, and we don't have one, and this is not it. And I was really disappointed.
Yeah, a lot of people are also going plant-based diets too.
Yeah.
So that would, you would think that they would appeal to them.
Yeah, it's just a little thing that they could do. Just make it a little better. Like, ditch the studio audience at least. Like,
Because that's the thing that like wrangling people to sit there for hours is really the tough part.
it's so weird. I'm like, why are
Yeah.
they there? They don't even get to eat the food. I don't know why they're there. Maybe they're family members. Maybe it's like 5 people. I don't know. We don't
Oh.
ever see the audience. Maybe they're not there. Maybe it's just a laugh track from like WKRP.
Or is that like Talk Soup? Like they used to have people laughing, but you couldn't see them.
Oh my
Or
gosh.
or the
that's
soup
right.
on E.
Yeah.
They brought that back. I need to see if that's any good.
I should watch that too. I used to love it with Joel McHale.
Oh, I loved it because I didn't have to watch any of the crap. He just
Yeah.
distilled it all for us.
And what was
Yeah.
the other guy before him? It was like Jim Henson, but it wasn't that Jim Henson.
No, it was. Oh no, he was a guy who had a gray stripe in his
Yeah.
hair. My roommate interviewed him.
Or John Henson.
John Henson. She said it was really, really nice.
Oh, that's good to hear. He was funny as shit.
He was so funny. He did a long time too. And Aisha Tyler did it for a while.
She was funny
too. And who was the guy from As Good as It Gets? He was nominated.
Greg Kinnear used to do it.
Greg Kinnear did it. That was when it was called Talk Soup. And that's when they used to call from all the talk shows because there used to be 1,000 talk shows.
Yes. Oh my God. Now I want to watch old Talk Soups.
I know. Same here.
I better go do that. Where can people find you on the internet, Margo?
You can find me on social media at Brooklyn Fitchick. That's on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And my blog is brooklynfitchick.com.
And you can find both of us at What a Creep. If you can't get enough of us, where we talk about creeps, and then every episode we end with someone who's not a creep. We have a really active Facebook page, or Facebook group, I should say. So if you want to go and vent about the creeps in your life or share other creepy stories, go for it. You can find me at thesoniashow.com and The Sonia Show on Twitter. And you can find Dorking Out at dorkingout.com and Dorking Out Show on Twitter. And you can listen wherever you listen to your podcasts. You're listening right now. And if you want to go to Apple Podcasts and give us a good review, that would be awesome. It helps us find our people. We are not part of a network or anything like that. So we could use all the help we could get. And you can email us at dorkingoutshow podcast at gmail.com.
We have stickers.
And we have stickers.
We'll send them to you.
Yeah.
Send us an email and we'll send them out to you.
And they're really cute. They
are cute.
If I don't say so myself. And I think that's it.
Yeah.
I don't have a really witty quote to end things.
I was going to sing something by Letters to Cleo, but that one song, she sings it super fast and I don't know all the words, so I would just sound like an asshole.
I'll just end it with, turn this mother out.
All around the world, the same old song.